So we kind of last left off where we talked about how you had a lot of anxiety when you were going on stage and the things you were doing to help cope with that. What did that feel like for you having all that anxiety?
Yeah, I feel like there's different levels of anxiety. Like there's the original kind of nervousness and wanting to retreat and wanting to hide and then there's like when it elevates into a panic attack. And I got into a period where I was getting panic attacks and that kind of feels like, yeah, I didn't know what a panic attack was or an anxiety attack was the first time I had one.
Hmm.
Nobody had ever talked about that. So I had no idea what was happening. I thought that I was dying. Like
Yeah.
I went to the hospital because I thought that I was dying. And what it feels like, your heart is racing. Like for me, I started to like dissociate. Like I started having like out of body experiences where I felt like I was like kind of watching myself, and that would freak me out. And then that would make my heart like beat faster. And then I just would feel like it's kind of like, have you ever been severely dehydrated?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. I also had a first experience of a anxiety attack. Same thing. Didn't know what it was. Went to the hospital. They did an EKG and everything, and the
Yeah.
doctor came back and said, "So, do you know what an anxiety attack is? Panic attack?" And I said, "Sure." And he
No.
said, "Well, that's what that was." And I said, "Oh, I felt like I literally was having a heart attack."
Yeah. And I remember sitting like in the hospital room and they're like, you're going to be okay. Just take deep breaths. And I was like, no, I feel like I'm going to pass out. Like, I think I'm going to pass out. And I would just be panicking. And, you know, they say there's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm flight. Like, whenever anything happens, I just like start trying to get away. I don't like I remember one time I had a panic attack, like an anxiety attack, I guess, starting to come on in my house. And I just started running through my house. Like if you would have seen me, you would have been like, what is happening? And my sister, one time I had an anxiety attack in the car with her, and I tried to get out of the car while it was moving. Because like I don't know, like it's a weird, like I just need to get out of myself, right? I need to get away. I need to do
Yeah.
something, you know?
Yeah. So at one point you realized you had a drinking problem. Um, at one point did you realize it was also something more on top of that?
So I realized that when I was living out in Nashville, like I started to realize that so I started spending a lot more time in bed. So I noticed I was sleeping a lot. And then I noticed that when I was alone, I was getting like really fearful, especially at night. I started to feel like very fearful. And I didn't want to be alone. And um, so I started going to the place that I worked to like be around people and to drink because I just like um
And this was the bar that you were performing at?
this was no, this was because that was in Denver. This was in Nashville. So this was like a restaurant that I worked at
Got it.
once I lived in Nashville. And they started to see, actually I got fired from there because I showed up there one night and was just like, they thought I was on something, but I was just having an erratic like I was just erratic, and I didn't realize I was just having like a like I don't even know how to explain it. Like an anxiety attack, a mental breakdown. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know. I didn't realize it was happening. That they were like, "What's going on with you? You're acting very like erratic."
Yeah. So did it take for people to point it out to you for you to realize that there was something else, or did you were you able to come to that conclusion on your own?
I think still I wasn't able to see it. Like I knew there was something wrong. I knew that I had like I didn't know how I didn't so like growing up, I didn't have the like vocabulary for any of it. I
Yeah.
didn't have like the any knowledge of like, you know, anything mental health related. Like I knew the words therapy and psychiatry. I didn't even know the difference between the two. I didn't know what an anxiety attack was. Like I said, I didn't know like what alcoholism actually looked like. Everybody around me drank a lot, so that seemed really normal to
Yeah.
me. Like it didn't ever seem abnormal to me. I just knew that something was not right, and I thought that I was like the only one that felt like that. Like I was just in fear all the time, like paralyzed by fear.
Yeah.
So I was either in bed sleeping, or I was like manic and erratic and like hyper. Like I don't know. People were just like, "You're a wild card. We don't know what we're gonna get with you."
Yeah. Do you, now that, when you started to make music, you said a lot of that came from heartbreak and it inspired a lot of what the music that you made. Now that you're sober and you're in a better place in life, do you feel like you're any less creative from that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 years of sobriety,
Mm-hmm. And
and
congratulations, by the
thank
way.
you. And so I still feel like very new.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still rediscovering that part of how to be creative without the high highs and the low
Mm-hmm.
lows, because that I like thrived on those high highs and low lows, and it was all I knew for so long that when I was experiencing like intense emotions or something, I that fueled my songwriting.
Yeah.
And so it is I won't lie, like it is challenging to find out how to like I have to be more intentional now when I create. I have to actually um have more discipline, because I can't just like wait for this surge of motivation to come and hit me,
Yeah.
and or wait for something. And I mean, I have sabotaged so many romantic relationships. Like looking back, I can see clearly that I did it for the sake of songwriting a lot,
Yeah.
because I just felt like when I'm like happy and healthy in a relationship and like stable, um that there's nothing interesting to write about. Like I definitely bought into that. I have to be this tortured, starving artist, like living in this
Yeah.
whatever. Like, and it's such a lie. Like it's
Yeah.
not true. And so I'm learning how to write more about just about not just like boys and like
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak and woe is me, because like I do feel like that was a lot of
Yeah.
my songs. And I'm still really grateful for that part of my life, and that's who I was then. But now
You're in a new era of
I'm in
yourself.
a new era, and I would like to write more like songs with like substance about this growth, like
Mm-hmm.
that happens, and about these struggles that we deal with, and kind of more geared towards that, and not just like um not just like, I don't know,
Yeah. No,
like
I think you bring a good point that
scorned
sometimes in a
little
new
girl.
chapter of your life, you have to rediscover yourself and really, I think, love yourself again and then figure out what makes you happy in now this current life, because we change as people over time. And
Yeah,
so you're just in that different part of your life
for
where you just have to
sure.
refine that now.
Yeah, I'm like relearning how to love music again and not do it
Mm-hmm.
for the wrong reasons, because I do feel like I used to want to impress people. I used to want to win people. I used to, when things would go wrong with a guy, I'd be like, "Oh, I know what I'll show him. Like I'll just write a song
Mm-hmm.
about him, and then I'll like find a way to make him hear it or
A big
something,
diss to
and
him.
make him
Yep.
feel like bad, like a big diss." Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like learning how to like relearning how to I don't know, like write music because I love it and because I want to make an impact in a, I don't know, like a more um
It's almost like a
powerful way,
right. It's a healthier way
healthier.
for you to make the music rather than kind of that
Exactly.
destructive chaos.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's not like we don't have to be going through life like just spiteful and like
Right.
resentful and like I'll show you, like I don't know. I just want it to be more like real than that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. If you enjoyed this content and you yourself are struggling with any sort of mental health or any sort of substance use addiction, feel free to reach out to Access Integrated Mental Health or at accessmh.com.